They tell you to find purpose in life, and it's a funny one. I do believe we are destined for great things. But what do I know?
Welcome to the first episode of a new series that I'm going to title the Observer Series. And in this series, I'm going to focus more on the individual, you, me, the person, and how we go about our lives and the things in which I happen to notice or observe within myself and, people around me. I do a lot of people watching. You hear in the background, there's a shooting range back there. I'm outside because today's episode will encompass being out in nature and being one with your body and knowing your body. But as I was saying, I observe a lot of people, I observe society and things like that. This series ties more into what I'm trying to do on my YouTube channel, a lot more calmer tone, a little bit more lighthearted at times, especially my YouTube shorts, a lot of lip sync videos. But with this Observer series, it'll definitely be a more calm tone. I won't go on my rants. If you follow me on TikTok, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But make sure you like and subscribe, follow the channel. And let's get right into today's topic where we talk about the body, knowing your body, knowing that you might have some type of health issue. And there's always a lot of reasons for it. There's always a lot of symptoms, but oftentimes we don't get to know the root cause of what happens within our own body. But your body will tell you. A lot of times your body will let you know exactly what's wrong. Why are you getting lack of sleep? Why you have some headaches? Why is your skin dry? A lot of different things. And a lot of times it's just because you're lacking nutrients, minerals, vitamins, protein. A lot of times it's just about what you're lacking within the body itself, not necessarily about what medication you need to be on next. And I'm not a big proponent of Western medicine. I like more of the ancient, Chinese medicine, things like that. Holistic medicine. I can't think of the word right now. But those that know what I'm talking about. Well, I try to pay attention to the whole body and look internal and look to nature to find those natural substances to be medicine, right? Because food is medicine. Water. Stay hydrated. Water and sleep will help a lot of people more than they realize. Water and sleep. Appropriate amount of water, not just based on what, scientific standards may say, but what is your appropriate amount of water based on your level of activity on a day-to-day basis? 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours of sleep? Maybe you get away with 6. You have to determine that. I know me personally, when it comes to medicine, being a disabled veteran, 100% permanent and total disabled veteran, I've had a bunch of medical issues over the years. And one thing I did learn from my time going through therapy in the VA and a lot of researching and stuff is that you have to look internal. You have to know what your body is missing. And it's always balancing that, trying to figure out what else you need. And sometimes you might need something and then months go by and then you don't need anymore. And I think a lot of times when we talk about Western medicine, modern medicine in that sense, I don't necessarily like it because they focus on the symptoms. And I'm sure y'all have heard that before, that a lot of focus is on the symptoms as opposed to getting to the root cause. And sometimes you need to just treat yourself, the body itself, as opposed to focusing on, we put a Band-Aid on this symptom, right? We patched up this symptom and now we get this symptom. Because once you take one medication, it has its own side effects. And then you have to take another medication that has another set of side effects. And then you next thing you know, you got a line full of medications that you have to take day to day. And that's not something that you want to live on. I'm supposed to take heart medication, blood pressure medication. I did have a heart attack while I was in the Air Force, which they denied over and over repeatedly, even though it's stated there in the medical records for their eyes can see. But I'm supposed to be on that, and the side effects that come with that, chest pain. But I'm gonna have the chest pain if I have high blood pressure and I'm dealing with tachycardia, things like that, palpitations. So Arujuna, if I'm saying that right, Arujuna, if I'm spelling it right. Other things I have found over the years, because the heart is a muscle, right? You can heal it. The body heals itself. A lot of times people enjoy Western medicine, the technology, because fast. Everybody wants something fast. But when you're talking about natural, holistic things, natural medicine is taking medicine from the earth itself. It's more about it being a part of your body, your daily routine. So it won't happen overnight. It's going to take months of you ingesting the same thing over and over for it to actually be within your system and become a part of your system. And that is not for everybody, which is okay. But you have to ask yourself, do you want to live a long, healthy life in which you are active and productive doing the things that you want to do on a day-to-day basis? That's not for everybody. And I think people have a hard time coming to that conclusion and being honest with themselves. We're all not living to live our life to our fullest potential and have the best life that we can possibly have. Because sometimes that requires an extra step, a little bit more discipline, a little bit more structure, a little bit more routine. And that is not for everyone. But for those that want to do it, you see how easy it is, because it's a mindset in which once you adopt, I don't think about my discipline, my structure, my routine as far as I wake up and go to the gym every day and I work out and I have green tea or matcha with some organic whole berry coffee as my kind of pre-workout to get myself going. I do intermittent fasting every day, 12 hours. I stop eating around 8, 9 o'clock, and I don't eat again till at least about 10 or 11. Sometimes I push a little bit further, and that's just to cleanse my body. I have IBS to help with my gut and stuff like that. But I don't think about it as, oh, I got to do this every day. It's just part of my life. It's part of who I am. And to a point, I'm hesitant to even say that as part of my routine. I just do it. Because once you do it, once you embody that change in which you're trying to make, then you become that change, and then it just is. So when we're talking about health and taking care of your body and being one with nature and all this other stuff, you have to embody it and become it. You can't just say, oh, well, I'm going to change. I'm going to do this. No, you are that. That is who you are. You are living the embodiment of what you're speaking and what you're saying. And that is not for everyone, because everyone will not make that choice. And that's okay. It is what it is. But for me, and when I'm trying to teach my kids, that's a choice I want them to actively make. And by everything that I have done so far by now, it seems to be something that they have just adopted, and that is just their lifestyle. They don't think too much of it. And that's a good way to be. But for older ones, especially, I'm 39, so I'm millennial generation. You can go to Gen X or boomer generation, things like that. Change comes a little bit hesitant at times. But you want to live, man. I want to live. I want to see my kids grow old, right? I want to grow old. I want to grow old, but still be mobile. Like, I have life goals. I have things I'm trying to do and accomplish. And I want to be here for that in a healthy manner. That's my motivation. What's yours? See you on the next episode.
They tell you to find purpose in life, and it's a funny one. I do believe we are destined for great things. But what do I know?